All right, let's get into a really powerful story today. It's about a divine guardian you might not have heard of, but whose job is, well, it's about as essential as it gets. We're talking about Annapurneshwar Bhairava, the protector of food itself.
Seriously, just imagine that for a second. What if all the food on Earth just vanished? No grain, no fruit, nothing. It's a pretty terrifying thought, right? Well, this isn't just some what-if scenario. This is exactly where our story kicks off.
You see, the world was in a terrible crisis. A massive, devastating famine had taken hold, and honestly, existence itself was just hanging by a thread. You can almost feel it, the heat just rising from the cracked earth. The land was completely barren. The very thing that gives us life had just withered away, leaving absolutely nothing behind. Not a single scrap of food to be found anywhere.
And this wasn't just a problem for us mortals. The famine was so bad, its grip reached all the way up into the heavens. I mean, think about that. Even the celestial beings, the gods themselves, were starving.
So, in the middle of all this chaos, where was the one being who keeps the whole universe in balance? Lord Shiva. He was deep in a profound meditation, completely unaware of what was happening. It's a pretty striking image, isn't it? When the world loses its nourishment, its fundamental balance is gone, and the ultimate stabilizer is totally out of reach.
With the world starving and Shiva lost in his trance, the desperate gods turned to their one final hope for salvation.
So, they go straight to Goddess Annapurna, who is literally the embodiment of nourishment itself. Their plea was, simple but so desperate. They basically reminded her of who she is, saying, "You are the goddess of food. The entire world is hungry. You have to save us."
And, in response to their plea, something absolutely incredible happened. In the holy city of Kashi, a divine miracle started to unfold.
And just like that, there on the banks of the river, Goddess Annapurna appeared. And in her hands, she held a golden vessel that was just overflowing with food. Her form was radiant, and instantly, the air filled with the aroma of this magnificent feast. You can almost smell it, right? Hope had finally returned.
But just as the starving crowds rushed forward, a whole new threat popped up, one that threatened to plunge the world right back into that same chaos. And this is the moment our protector finally arrives. You see, when they saw this miraculous abundance, the demons and asuras, these powerful, often not so friendly beings, they swarmed the scene. They didn't care about the hungry people. They just wanted to grab all that divine food for themselves, which of course created total panic and disorder.
Okay, and this is a really important point. When most of us hear the name Bhairav, we think of this super fierce, maybe even destructive form of Shiva, right? But the being that shows up here, totally different. This isn't a destroyer. This is a divine guardian, a protector. And right from the very radiance of Goddess Annapurna, a new form emerged, Annapurneshwar Bhairava. This is such a powerful idea. The protector of sustenance is born directly from the source of sustenance itself. It shows that protection is just an inherent part of providing. He wasn't there to destroy, he was there to protect.
And he got to work immediately. First, he drove away all those disruptive demons and asuras. Then, he restored order among the desperate crowds. And most importantly, he stood guard, like a divine sentinel, making sure every single hungry soul, from the smallest creature to the greatest god, got their share.
So, with order restored and everyone finally getting fed, the story moves to its powerful conclusion, right when the Lord of the Universe himself wakes up.
Coming out of his meditation, Lord Shiva journeyed to Kashi. And there, in this incredible moment of cosmic significance, he, the one who sustains the universe, received sustenance from the hands of Goddess Annapurna. The balance was finally, truly restored.
And in the final act of this whole divine drama, Shiva saw Bhairav's dedicated protection and gave him this timeless blessing: wherever food is protected, you shall surely be present. And with those words, Annapurneshwar Bhairav's sacred role was cemented for all of eternity. So, you see, this ancient story, it's so much more than just a myth. It's this powerful message, right? That having food and protecting that food are two sides of the exact same coin. I mean, what good is providing for people if you can't make sure it actually gets to them? And that leaves us with a really big question for our own time. In a world where people are still hungry, what's our role? How do we become protectors of sustenance?